Hi guys, this is Allison with Grassroots K9. I'm going to come to you with a special edition, Mommy to Mommy. So today I want to talk to you about the idea of I want my dog to be good with my kids. Now, this one hits home. Obviously, I am a mom of two, so I have to implement a lot of structure and boundaries in my household because we also have a kennel on property. The conversation that I often hear is, again, I want my dog to be good with my kids. But a conversation I don't hear enough is I want my kids to be good with my dog. As an advocate for obviously dogs, but also for children, I want to try to find where we can meet in the middle. And what I'm thinking with that is that to open the conversation with moms and even dads is how do we teach boundaries, impulse, as well as control inside our household with our kids when it comes to interacting with our dogs. There's a lot of things that, I have witnessed that almost have make me cringe. And then there's a lot of things where I can praise other moms and dads that they have really implemented in their household and teaching their children that it's not appropriate to climb on the dog. It's not appropriate to pull the dog's ears. And it's definitely not appropriate to go take the dog's food. Now, in an ideal world, we would like a dog that would be able to be tolerant of our 2-year-old running around the house screaming and throwing things and not feeling panicked about, whether or not that child was coming for the dog. But, in reality, that's not the case. So in reality, there's these 4-legged creatures running around your house and they have a mouth full of teeth that could really do some damage on your children. So what do? We want our dog and our kids to interact and live happily, but we also want our kid to understand that there is definitely boundaries when it comes to it. So one thing, we need to have boundaries. How do we do that? Well, from the moment the dog comes home, there's structure. So, whether it's the dog is out for 20 minutes and it's your job to get to go potty, and once it goes potty, you give him a treat and then he goes in the crate, and the kid needs to be okay with the dog being in there temporarily. Now, after that, the boundaries are you are not to be involved in touching the dog food bowl. Now, kids will be kids. So parents, pick up the dog food bowl when your dog is done. Even feed in the separate room. Prevent. One thing as parents we do is we put baby gates up. We also put electric socket plugs to make sure that their fingers don't go in there. Let's do the same with our dogs. So if our dogs are eating, away from the children. Let's just prevent. Now, the other thing is impulse. Now, my 2-year-old obviously has 0 impulse control. So how do we implement that when it comes to, a dog running around? Now, obviously with my 7-year-old, it's a little bit easier. Hey, I know you want to go play with the puppy right now, but the puppy's having a break and she can understand that. My 2-year-old, on the other hand, does not. So what I do is I prevent. So no parent is perfect, no child is perfect, no dog is perfect. So my next spiel on how we can help, set some boundaries and some rules is teaching our child some impulse control. Now, how do we do that? The biggest question of the day. But basically, one idea that I have is have a cost and reward system. So, hey, buddy, you do your homework, you get to go ahead and go on the walk with puppy. Or, hey, you eat all your dinner, you can be involved in training later. So having a system that your child is often using where it's, I do this, I get to play with my dog. Don't always have it as a free-for-all, because if a free-for-all is there, your child may make mistakes. So then last but not least, we don't want your dog to also be taboo to your child. So how do we get them involved and how do we do it safely? So there's a couple games that I like to play in my household. One is we play a simple game of mommy hides the dog food and we have the doggy on leash or on a place command and we give them a release command and the dog goes and finds it. Now, just simply having, your child watch as your dog is sniffing throughout your house looking for the food is exciting in itself. The other thing is to involve them in training lessons. Many of you that are probably watching these videos are interested in training your dog. So have your kids sit on the couch, ask them questions, get the conversation going on what are you doing? Why are you teaching this? What is my goals? And then see what their interests are. You may have a child like ours who goes, Mom, Dad, I want to go train my dog. Can you come and watch me? Those are the kind of ideas that we want to implement in every household with children and parents. Because if you guys can get the conversation started, there's gonna be less accidents happening and more kids understanding that every dog you see on the street isn't meant to be pet. Every dog that you see on the street isn't your friend. And that's okay. It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't also make it good. But what it is having a very neutral and respected relationship amongst a child and a dog. So parents, again, stop saying, I want my dog okay with my kids, and start saying, I want my kids okay with my dog. Subscribe and like.